Hey y'all, so today I am actually celebrating my 7-year business anniversary. So the K Canvas Studio has been in business for 7 years. So definitely a great accomplishment. Again, if you watch my other video about how I started baking, you would understand that this was not something that I sought out to do. It kind of just fell into my lap and I ran with it. And I still can't believe I've been doing it for 7 years. Like, that's a long time. So this video is for me to just share 7 lessons honoring my 7 years in business, 7 lessons that I have learned from being in business for 7 years. The first lesson is to embrace the journey. I have struggled with this being in business for 7 years because too often we find ourselves trying to rush the journey. Like, I just want to hurry up and be successful. I just want to hurry up and make it, to where we're not enjoying all of the experiences and the lessons and the hardships and the obstacles that we're experiencing. And especially with social media, we really find ourselves looking at other people and saying, well, I need to hurry up and get to where they are. And we're not embracing our own journey and our own steps. It's okay to be a beginner. It's okay to be a student. You don't have to rush to become an expert. Just enjoy the process, work hard, and just embrace the journey. The second lesson is to stop the comparison. Just like I just mentioned about enjoying the journey and embracing the journey, please do not compare yourself to other people. Easier said than done, especially with the times today. Like, we're so used to just seeing the highlights that people post on their social media. We just see their successes, we see their wins, but we don't see what's going on in the background. We don't see the losses that they're taking. We don't necessarily see the obstacles that they're experiencing. So it's really important for you to focus on your own pace. And I always say that I compare myself to the person that I was yesterday. So if it's a cake, I'm only focusing on doing better than I did on my last cake. So if I wanted my edges to be a little sharper, if I wanted my sides to be smoother, if I wanted it to be a little neater, I'm focusing on that. I'm not focusing on what another baker created or what another baker did and trying to say, well, maybe I should do that, or why are they doing that better than me? Don't get me wrong. You should be inspired by other people, but that's where it should stop. You should never compare yourself to someone else. You can always admire and be inspired by them, but do not compare. It will literally rob you of joy, of your hard work, and everything that you have accomplished. The third lesson is to always do your best. So there's this book called The 4 Agreements, and it's by Don Miguel Ruiz. And I love that book so much because it talks about what the 4 agreements, and it's the 4 agreements that you should live by. One of those agreements is to always do your best. No more, no less, just always do your best. So under any circumstance, you're always focused on giving any situation, project, whatever it is, your best. And understanding that your best is going to change from time to time, but giving yourself that grace and saying, you know what, that situation didn't work out well, but I know that I gave it my best. The fourth lesson is to be nice to yourself. So you're going to make mistakes. You are going to undercharge for a cake. You're going to forget an order. You may mess up on your client's cake flavor. Things are going to happen, but there's no point in beating yourself up, because you just need to take those L's as lessons. Lesson 5 is to remember that perfection is the enemy of progress. And what I mean by that is, how many times have you said, oh, I'm going to start this, or I'm going to create this, or I want to come out with this new class or new product, but it has to be perfect. There's so many times when we tell ourselves that we're not going to make a move until it's perfect, until we have everything put together, until we have all of the perfect labels and the perfect thank you cards and the perfect team. But that right there is going to halt and slow your progress. So I've learned that it does not have to be perfect for me to make it happen, because perfection really does not exist. Like, I can launch something, I can come out with something, I can think about it for a few weeks to a month, launch it, and still make revisions later on. So everything does not have to be perfect in order for you to create it, in order for you to release it. Just do not operate in perfection, because it does not exist. Lesson 6 is to remember that you won't be motivated every day, so you need to be consistent. And this is my favorite lesson, because I preach this to all of my family, all of my friends. You will not get up every day and want to make a cake. You will not get up every day and be excited to deal with your clients. You will not get up every day and want to work in your business in any capacity. But if you're consistent is going to beat motivation any day. So you can't rely and depend on yourself to be motivated, because motivation is something that you generate. So it's something that you create. Consistency is going to beat motivation, because there's going to be some days where, I'm tired, I'm exhausted, I just don't feel like doing anything. But if I'm consistent and I'm disciplined, I'm still going to get it done despite how I feel. And remembering that is how you can get ahead of your competition, because a lot of people rely on motivation to keep them going. They rely on motivation to help them accomplish their goals. They don't rely on discipline and consistency. So the last lesson is lesson 7, and it is to study your data and figure out what is working and what's not working. So this is something that I do a lot. I study data. I make sure that I understand, like, what do the people like and what are people gravitating to when it comes to my business. So if it's Instagram posts, you can look at your insights on Instagram and you can see what posts are the most liked, what posts were shared the most, what posts got the most comments. And you can kind of see what content your audience really enjoys. If you're sending out newsletters, look at the insights of your newsletters. Look at those statistics and see which newsletter was opened the most, which newsletter got the most click rates. See what your audience really likes so that you can do more of that and continue to grow your business. If you don't pay attention to that, you can be on the wrong road, going the wrong direction for years, because you're just focusing on doing what you want to do. You're not doing and replicating and creating what your audience wants to see. So that is my 7 lessons in honor of my 7 years in business. And I hope that was helpful for you, because I've learned a lot in the past 7 years. I have more than 7 lessons, but those were the lessons that I felt were the most important to other entrepreneurs, other business owners, and just other individuals in general. So if you like the video, like, comment, subscribe, and in the comments, please let me know what other videos that you want me to create.